Right. So, moving on from this, let's look at something that's also hideous.
Yes.
Peter Pan and Wendy. Because for some
Okay, that's my cue. I'm out of here. See you later.
No, you're staying.
You're stuck for this.
Nah. I have
I
a
had to
barbecue
stay for
to
the
attend.
previous
Damn
shit.
you!
You're staying for this.
Because for
I
some
am
reason,
not going-
for some reason, Peter Pan is now a poorly dressed, bad haircut Indian kid, and Tinkerbell's a fucking black chick. Yes, we've got to take those
yeah.
good old
Even-
traditional
he doesn't
English
glow, by the
stories and remove the English people from them.
It's
Except for Wendy,
Tweakerville.
because you have to subvert the white woman.
Yes. Also,
Anyway, gentlemen, I do have to go. So you guys have a good
Yeah.
stream. I will talk to you guys later.
okay.
will not
Unless you
forget
get
this.
banned.
Unless I get banned. Which could happen, I suppose. If that happens, though, I'm going to send Trim a bunch of images from that Change comic book.
we'll stab
See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. So, first question: why the fuck is Peter Pan so young? Peter Pan's not that young.
No, it's not traditionally.
No.
Do you think like his?
In
early
fact,
20s or something?
also Wendy's not that old.
I mean, she looks like she's 17.
Yes. Actually, let's see if we can find out how old she is. Because she's way too old for Peter Pan and Wendy. Because they're supposed to be visually the same age. And then you discover that Peter Pan's like 100.
Kids never age in Neverland.
I like the audience score.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently the 4-year-old looking Peter Pan is 16. And Wendy is 15. Okay, so they're both too old. But he looks like he's 6.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with them? Also, he's hideous, but that's beside the point. But the way they've done her,
Permanent baby face.
the way they've done Wendy up in this picture, she looks like she's nearly 18. Wendy's not that old. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, because I thought they were supposed to basically be at roughly the same age.
Well, that
physically.
was my understand. That's my understanding. I thought that was why Wendy was supposed to crush on him, because they were supposed to look the same age. Actually,
And I thought that was also part of the development where she was supposed to realize that, hey, she's maturing, she's got these, ambitions in life, and remaining a child forever would hinder a meaningful life.
yeah. Right.
It's basically a tale about growing up.
Exactly.
Where the fuck is that animated movie?
I like Peter Pan.
Is that really from... Fuck me dead, that's from 1953.
Yeah. The original one, and then, I mean, hell, they did a live action one with the 70s where, it's like Mary Martin played Peter Pan because it was a musical.
Boom, there we go. Peter Pan and Wendy in the same picture. Oh, look, here's another one.
Look at that shit. That's when Disney made fucking.
Oh,
80s
here's a good one.
classics.
Yes, because Peter Pan's supposed to look like he's 4, is he?
What?
Well, let's see what... They're supposed to look the same age. That's kind of the entire point of her being there.
Yeah.
That's literally the point of it. He's a 100-year-old in a 100-plus-year-old in like a 14-year-old's body. And he's supposed to essentially seduce her.
Isn't there a sequel or sort of an unofficial sequel to this called Hook, where Robbie, I think it's Robbie?
Robin Williams.
Hook's a
Yeah,
brilliant movie.
It was a spin-off movie.
Hook's a brilliant
Yeah.
movie. It's fucking great. I liked Hook when I saw it.
Boo Boo Box.
Just
Throw him in a box and throw scorpions in.
Yeah, let's see. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia version.
Wikipedia reckons
Peter-
that The novel mentions that he still has all his baby teeth. In other ways, the character appears to be about 12 to 13.
Yep.
But, crucially, Wendy Darling is supposed to be the same age. Wendy Darling, yeah, yes, we know. J.M. Barrie, when? What age? How old is she? Apparently, Barry does not give any description of Wendy because, God forbid.
I remember having seen a animated series about Peter Pan too. I think Hook was voiced by Tim Cummins.
Which version?
Oh, look, here we go.
Um,
Although the
Hook had a white wig.
yes, anyway, moving on from that.
Sorry.
We're still talking about the age here, Jim. Or I'm trying to anyway.
We're talking about this
Right,
one.
her exact age is not specified in the original play or novel by Barry, though it is implied she's about 12 to 13 years old or possibly younger, as she is just Peter's size. A girl on the verge of adulthood.
yep.
And yeah, they're supposed to be the same. But they're supposed to be the same age because otherwise, why would she have a crush on him? I don't. Last time I checked, 12-year-olds don't have crushes on 5-year-olds. Even that is something terribly wrong.
Yeah, it's like it maybe vaguely, but it's usually like, yeah, that's a pedo. They need to go be treated now.
Yes, they need treatment now before they do something that can't be undone.
And yeah, because a big part of the story, from what I remember from the only version that really exists, is that it was a story of growing up and maturing, and when Peter visits Wendy's children.
Yeah. One, a woman who's on the verge, a girl who's on the verge of starting to become a woman, and a boy who refuses to grow up.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Possibly. Yeah, that.
Yep.
That.
And yeah, it was like the big like moment was, if I remember correctly, Peter didn't really remember Wendy, but she remembered him and asked him not to, take the kids. And it's kind of like that moment of almost recognition, but not.
Yeah, look. There, right there. The fuck's going on there exactly that you think can be done by whatever the fuck that is?
I mean,
and that's not even talking about whatever the fuck's going on with Tinkerbell.
Ardent Peter pansexual.
Yes. Actually, that's probably closer to the truth. Actually.
I mean, we all know that pansexual is just another word.
No.
These days.
Well, yes, but no, we're talking about
confused moron.
Trim. Here's the thing: Peter Pan is Fae. Peter Pan's part of the Fae. Pansexual is probably actually pretty close to accurate.
Wait, Peter is an actual Fae?
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, he's not.
It depends on.
It's like
it depends on your version, I think, possibly.
Yeah, I think it was one of those. He was taken in by the Fae and kind of became one.
Yes, that's the one I've heard.
And
he has been there for so long that he basically crossed over and become one.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
He's not actually a Fae, but he acts like one.
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah, that's why the happy thoughts can make him fly and shit like that.
The flute and pipes. Traditionally Fae-ish.
He was supposed to be portraying Pan as in the Pan flute. Yeah. Pan.
Yes, that's Peter Pan first appeared as a character in Little White Bird in 1902. In chapters 13 to 18, titled Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens, Peter is a 7-day-old baby and is flown from his nursery to Kensington Gardens in London, where the fairies, yes, well, the fairies are definitely around, and boys to him to fly. He's described as betwixt and between a boy and a bird. I return to the character of Peter Pan, pointing him at the center stage at the center of his stage. Wait, Barry? Hold on. J.M. Barrie was actually a dude? Fair enough. I don't know. I don't know why. For the life of me, I thought that J.M. Barrie was a chick. Maybe because most people who go by just their initials usually are. See J.K. Rowling. He's described stage play Peter Pan or the Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up. Premiered in 1904.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Eventually made it a novel. May have based the character Peter Pan on his older brother, who died in an ice skating accident the day before his 14th birthday. His mother and brother thought of him as forever a boy. Yeah. And I mean, there's a very strong Fae influence in the whole thing, especially because you literally have fairies.
Yep. You know, and it's one of those. It's like it just makes it that kind of level of weird. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the magic clearly comes from a Fae-inspired mindset. It's 1900s English dude. He has exactly two types of fantasy to draw on. English folktale, and I think Lord of the Rings might have just squeaked out by then, or actually,
No,
is
not
that later?
1904.
No, there was someone they were writing around then. What am I thinking of that would have written by 1904? I've probably got everyone who wrote in like the 30s confused.
Wasn't it The Hobbit?
No.
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 Tolkien. When did his books come out?
I
Bram
thought
Stoker?
Tolkien. No, Tolkien came out in like 30s.
Yeah, no, he
Oh,
would
yeah,
he
yeah.
wouldn't have been writing in the 1800s because he was born
H.G.
in
Wells.
1892. H.G. Wells is completely irrelevant. That's sci-fi
Yeah,
trim.
because he didn't write about fantasy. Oh gosh.
Shit. Who was the
And
other one then that I'm probably getting confused with?
I mean, Conan Doyle was there with the spiritualist movement, but he didn't really write about anything supernatural outside of the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Any stories we can think of?
There we go. That's the arsehole. No, apparently.
C.S. Cooper?
No, C.S. Lewis, on the other hand,
C.S. Lewis was
who
also
was,
the
again, way later than I thought. I'll be damned.
Damn it.
Yep.
So
And so you shall.
yeah, so...
I sentence you to Australia.
No! Fate worse than death. Okay, so if he didn't even have Tolkien to draw on, then it was clearly inspired by English folklore.
Yeah.
Which is has very strong Fae traditions.
I always kind of thought of Peter Pan as kind of like almost a changeling story.
Kind of. Well, he's not a changeling per se, but he acts almost exactly like one. He takes the child to Neverland, and then they become one of the Lost Boys, or whatever it is.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why, to me, it's like, it just clicks in my brain. It's like, yes, it's...
I see why I got confused earlier. Peter Pan is a free spirit, and I read Spirit and got confused. But yeah, like I mean, you look at a picture and that's clearly Fae inspired.
Yeah.
I mean, 1907 illustration. I mean, well, that's clearly older than that other kid looks. But
Isn't there some myths where the Fae ran off with kids and the kids became Fae as well?
he just said changeling.
That's the changeling.
No, aren't changelings the ones who are born from a mortal and Fae union?
No, that's something else.
Okay.
Changelings in...
Well, it depends.
It
depends on what you're referring to as a changeling, because there's two ways you can look at it. It's either the kid that was taken, or the Fae that was left behind.
Yeah,
Oh.
and that's what I wanted to explain to Trim was, the changeling
that's
is
it. Peter
the
Pan
kid that remains, but...
Peter Pan, yeah, Peter Pan would act like a lot like the kid left behind.
Yeah.
Traditionally, the character has been played on stage by a petite adult woman.
Yeah, I think Mary Martin was the most famous to portray Peter Pan, because I think she did Shit, I can't remember.
Well, it would make sense. Small though, talks in a feminine voice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, unending youth, flies. Peter has an effect on the whole of Neverland and its inhabitants when he's there. Ray states that although Neverland appears different to every child, the island wakes up when Peter returns from his trip to London. Yeah, Peter's skilled swordsman. Yep, he's very old. We know this. In Peter and Wendy, whatever that is, Barry states that the Peter Pan legend Mrs. Darling as a child was that when children died, he accompanied them part of the way to their destination so they would not be frightened. So he's a psychopomp.
Yeah.
Which
He's a
some
what?
psychopomp.
Oh.
Clearly, I've read too much of that kind of fiction. I'm going to have to get up probably a better explanation than I can manage.
Can you describe what a psychopomp is? Because I haven't heard that word before.
I'm about to.
Good.
A psychopomp, coming from the Greek word psychopompus, literally meaning the guide of souls, are creatures, spirits, angels, demons, or deities in many religions whose responsibility is to escort newly deceased souls from Earth to the afterlife.
Oh.
So kind of a fetch.
Yes, kind of. In fact, that's probably one of the things it's going to refer to. You may also have seen it such as the dude with the sickle and dogs, ravens, especially ravens. You'd know all about
Valkyries.
ravens. Well, Valkyries are a type of psychopomp, but then they don't. If they're taking them to Valhalla, but there's also other ones that would drag them to hell.
Yeah.
Classic examples include Anubis, Mercury, Norse Valkyries, Charon, the Greek ferryman.
Wait. I know you said Charon, but it's like, oh, it's Karen. Karen is
Oh,
dragging
you
you
poor
to hell.
bugger.
Oh, yeah, there we go. It's getting too real, boys.
Yeah. Speaking of psychopomps, Terry Pratchett books. One of these days ago, I'll read them, but apparently the psychopomp in that, who's death, is apparently one of the best depictions, or one of the most loved depictions of the thing.
I mean, he is voiced by Christopher Lee.
Yeah. Not necessarily an angel of death, depending on your definition of angel of death. Because the question is whether they take the life or just carry the soul. And I think that's the difference. Because, at least the way I read it, traditionally, psychopomps don't actually kill the person.
Right, they're just the guide.
They're the guide. Yeah. Which, so so generally they're not depicted as killing the person, but they're there. But again, where you get from like your Reaper Man stuff and your sickly guy, Death with a Sickle, kind of.
What about banshees?
Well,
Doesn't
I mean,
banshees aren't psychopomps.
They
signal death.
They signal
they
death.
herald death.
They herald death. No, so a psychopomp is specifically one that takes the soul, guides the soul to the afterlife. And yes, Valkyries are a type of psychopomp. Though generally psychopomps more take all the souls. Valkyries, I think, are specific to the heroic dead.
Yeah, they only take the worthy to Valhalla.
Yes, but Norse mythology does have a hell for the unworthy dead, and they got to get there somehow. So, God knows.
Oh, they are just being dragged down as it is.
Yeah. Let's see, Norse hell,
Norse hell is Niflheim.
and apparently
God.
also a female being.
Sometimes I thought Niflheim was
I
pronounced Oslo.
I thought Niflheim was another level.
Niflheim is one of the 3 original existences. It was Niflheim, the world of frost and poison, and then you had Muspelheim, the world of
Yes.
fire.
Hell is. Oh, it doesn't say. Buried with items that you facilitate their journey. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Brynhilda's trip to hell after her death is described. Yes, tell me how they get there. Yeah, many trips to hell. Visited by a woman bearing stalks of hemlock. Pulls him into the ground and they vanish. Well, that would...
Yep.
But... Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to tell us too greatly, but yes.
There's two different kinds of way when you, because it isn't just dying in battle that brings you sort of to the heaven, Valhalla. There are technically three forms of afterlife, and I don't remember the good part because there are those people who have been living a virtuous life, a good life, but has not died in battle. They go to a more less battle focused heaven. They go to afterlife, which represents how they've lived their life.
Here we
So
go.
you have
Death
one for
in
the bad
Norse
people, one for the good.
paganism.
And I will point out, violence in his life is got some insight into
Folkvanger.
this in chat.
There we go.
Yeah.
That'd be the one. Hell, Valhalla, and Folkvanger. Or Folkvanger. Something like that.
Yeah.
Trim, pronounce it.
Folkvang.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
Folkvang.
Look, man.
So the R's silent.
Yes.
Oh.
Valhalla.
And the L's apparently an
Folkvang.
R. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why you add R's to everything.
Because it's got an R in the bloody word.
Yeah, that's something you fuckers have added.
Not by choice.
Uh-huh.
If you want to blame anyone,
Basically,
blame the French.
many of the words you say
If you want to
in
blame
Norse
anyone,
mythology
blame
are-
the French, because they were the ones who translated a lot of the Norse literature.
That made
Oui.
a lot of sense.
Folkvang.
Afterlife
Yeah,
field
fuck.
ruled over by Freya, who chooses half of those who die in battle to reside with her there. Wait, what? Oh, fair enough.
Yes, there are basically two camps when you go to Valhalla. One is the regular Einherjaren who go to Valhalla, and then you have the ones who go to Folkvang. When Ragnarok arrives, she kits them in basically a super lynx cloak, which turns them into these massive fucking lynxes that go around and rips things apart in the battlefield.
Yeah, so blah,
Okay,
blah, 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 blah.
sign me
Yeah, a
up.
bunch of afterlives.
Yeah.
It's all very vague. But yeah, psychopomps are just someone who carries the soul of the dead.
Yes.
And I don't think traditionally they take lives.
No. Not from my understanding.
Yeah, and then there's Jungian psychology, which can just burn in a fire.
Are you saying you're not young at heart?
No. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't see anything else particularly relevant there, so sadly we haven't even finished talking about the left half of this picture.
Ew.
So firstly, those wings look like crap.
That looks like a inner city cosplay stage play kind of thing.
Yes.
Basically. And she doesn't even glow. Fairies glow, but she doesn't because she's
No, fairies
not gonna
sparkle.
say that.
You know, how vampires don't.
Unless you're a horny
1.9
fucking stupid bitch.
stars on Google. 4.1 out of 10 on IMDb, and Rotten Tomatoes is a fuck up. But we knew that.
Well, I mean,
Here we go. This,
we're getting paid to review
So,
things, so we gotta.
what, as usual,
Oh,
reviewers
God.
are idiots. 12% audience score. Half a star.
Wow. I do kind of want to read one or two of the reviews.
What,
Just
what,
do it.
what,
For
what
the hell
ones?
of it.
What ones? Audience or critic?
One of each. Let's do at least one of each. Just
Let's do the paid chills first.
yes.
Yes.
Wow. Even with pirates, a fairy Native American princess, and a man-eating crocodile, it's oddly unimaginative.
All talk, no crocodile bite.
Oh, there's a positive one. Peter Pan and Wendy is a refreshingly and welcome adaptation of this story with strong performances all around and fantastic camera work.
Oh, fuck
No.
off. What do you mean strong performances? Sorry. That thing can do a strong performance? I don't think so.
I don't think
It's
that thing could,
diversity.
it couldn't even take a strong shit.
Exactly.
Not with all the curry he's eating.
No wonder it's death.
Yeah.
Well, only in sweatshops, Callum.
This idiot's like, Peter Pan and Wendy is purposely crafted with bullshit and thoughtfulness bullshit. And while it's consistent in saying the ideas of Wendy, Hook, and Tiger Lily, oh god, we have to look at Tiger Lily and Peter Pan and Wendy. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be so fucking bad.
I'm really curious at how they fucked her
Oh,
up.
for fuck's sake, you stupid piece of shit website. Let me grab the fucking text so I can stick it in Google again.
Violence. It reads like a Chat GPT response.
Okay, so NPR, the useless sacks of shit. Tiger Lily has chat. Oh my good lord.
Oh god.
I'm trying to figure out what tribe she's supposed to be.
Cree, apparently.
The Babachi?
I could kind of see that. It's a little overdone, but
Hey, by the way, I figured out the other. I found out the other two afterlives aside from Valhalla and Folkwang.
Hell.
Well, it's Helheim, where people who haven't died in battle go to, which is not a place for punishment, but just
It's
more
cold.
restful and
It's cold, therefore it's
No.
hell.
it's not just Helheim is the only place which isn't a cold hell. Helheim is in Niflheim. Niflheim is the large empty frost realm where the bad people go to.
So basically, it's cold.
Yes, it's cold as fuck, and Helheim
Yes,
is basically the
exactly.
only place with a decent fucking furnace and oven.
No, yeah, but you're Norwegian. I'm not interested in your opinion of what a good temperature is.
Dude, the only way you could be happy in Norse mythology is if you lived in fucking Muspelheim. And that's a country that is just fire.
Yes, correct.
that sounds about right for a degenerate who likes heat.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Fuck me, it's fucking 22 degrees here. It's fucking ugh.
Ah,
hot.
22 degrees. That sounds lovely and cool.
Oh yeah.
22 degrees.
If you enjoyed this segment from the Songs of Chardonnay podcast, please consider joining us live exclusively on rumble.com/c/Songs of Chardonnay. A special thanks to our Subscribe Star supporters who you can currently see scrolling past on your screen.